Imagine a sunny day at school and then shockingly your dreams of becoming an astronaut are shattered with the Challenger space shuttle's explosion. Let's delve into the universe of Punky Brewster. Visualize being a kid who's all enthusiastic about space, stars, and the vast universe. You're sitting in class, and suddenly the Challenger shuttle, a symbol of human potential and technological wisdom, takes a tragic turn. And who experiences the impact of it? Our young protagonist, Punky. The episode, in its signature dramatic style, presents this disastrous event with absolute directness. Punky Brewster, the aspiring astronaut, is it's as if her dreams were on board the shuttle and were blasted off into the abyss. The characters' reactions are, well, they're certainly expressive. Punky's distress reasonable, but its depiction? It's as though the creators were for the most theatrical portrayal of a calamity accolade. Then there are Punky's classmates. Oh, the anguish, the intense shock. Their reactions almost make it feel like they were personally on the doomed shuttle. The gasps, the tears, the drama, it's all delivered with a generous side of emotionality. And let's not overlook the instructor, Mike. He's present, attempting to maintain calm, but unintentionally amplifies the emotions. His efforts to Punky are about as successful as a paper shield in a downpour. The episode, in all its intensity, takes this serious event and transforms it into a spectacle of heightened emotions and responses. It gives the feel of a soap opera, but rather than forbidden love and wicked siblings, it deals with space shuttles and broken dreams. And thus, the day concludes with Punky's dreams of space exploration in ruins. But hold on, there's more. Enter Punky, the wannabe astronaut, whose dreams are as colorful as her mismatched socks. Punky, a small sprite with a heart as big as a galaxy, brims with interstellar ambitions. She's got her sights set on the moon, Mars, and if possible, Pluto too, even if it's been downgraded to a dwarf planet. And why not? After all, in the universe of Punky Brewster, anything is possible, if not entirely plausible. Punky, with her spirit as vibrant as a supernova, wants to be an astronaut. She's ready to propel herself beyond the stratosphere, fueled by a potent mix of spunk, optimism, and a dash of ignorance. She dreams of floating in zero gravity, moonwalking on lunar craters, and possibly making first contact with extraterrestrial life. One can only imagine her surprise when she finds out Martians don't actually look like green, three-eyed cartoons. The show tries, bless its heart, to make Punky's astronomical aspirations relatable. It paints her as a dreamer, a maverick, a child with her head not just in the clouds but among the stars. Yet, in its attempt to make her character relatable, the show ends up making her look more naive and unrealistic. It's like trying to convince us that a goldfish could climb a tree if it just believed in itself hard enough. The show's handling of Punky's ambitions is as delicate as a bull in a china shop. It's like watching a sitcom version of Gravity with a side order of The Big Bang Theory, minus the scientific accuracy, of course. It's unintentionally hilarious, like a clown slipping on a banana peel in zero gravity. So Punky wants to be an astronaut, but after today's events, she might as well aim to be a unicorn. At least, in the world of Punky Brewster, unicorns might just be a tad more believable. Just when you thought it couldn't get any more dramatic, in walks Buzz Aldrin, the second man on the moon. Yes folks, you heard that right. The Buzz Aldrin, moonlander extraordinaire, decides to drop by Punky's school for a quick chat. Because of course that's exactly what happens when national tragedies strike. Astronauts just waltz into your classroom like they're dropping off a forgotten lunchbox. Let's take a moment to appreciate this cameo for what it really is. An awkwardly shoehorned attempt to shoehorn a little star power into a pretty grim episode. I mean, you can almost see the writers in the room, patting themselves on the back for this stroke of genius. Who better to console a distressed would-be astronaut than a real-life moonwalker, they must have thought. And then, we get to the pep talk. Oh, the pep talk. It's like they took every cliché from every inspirational speech ever given, threw them into a blender and poured out a lukewarm soup of "you can do it" platitudes. There's something about reaching for the stars and not giving up, all delivered with the emotional depth of a teaspoon. It's a scene that's supposed to be uplifting, a beacon of hope amid tragedy, but instead it feels about as meaningful as a fortune cookie's wisdom. You half expect Aldrin to finish his speech, pull out a slip of paper and read, "You will find happiness with a new love." And let's not forget the sheer implausibility of it all. How did Aldrin even get there? Did he have a bat signal for astronaut-related crises? Or maybe he just happened to be passing by and thought he'd pop in for a cup of coffee and a pep talk. In the end, Aldrin's cameo feels like a missed opportunity. Instead of providing a meaningful commentary on the tragedy, it ends up being a jarring, out-of-place spectacle that distracts more than it adds to the narrative. So, Buzz Aldrin walks out, leaving Punky and us with a half-baked pep talk and a whole lot of questions. And there you have it, folks. A cameo that promised the moon, but delivered only stardust. And now it's time for the grand finale. The lessons we've learned from this roller coaster of an episode. Ah, the sweet smell of nostalgia mixed with the bitter scent of reality. We traveled through the cosmos of Punky's aspirations, only to crash land in the wonky world of 80s television. We've seen our beloved Punky, the aspiring astronaut, face the cruel realities of life, only to be comforted by Buzz Aldrin's pep talk. A pep talk that, quite frankly, looked as if it was conceived in a vacuum of space itself, devoid of any real depth or understanding. We've watched the show grapple with a serious event like the Challenger explosion with the finesse of a hippopotamus on roller skates. The attempt was as clumsy as Punky's mismatched socks, leaving us wondering if the writers were actually trying to tackle the subject or just needed a plot device. And let's not forget the inconsistencies that were as glaring as a supernova in a dark sky. One moment Punky is traumatized, the next she's laughing it off. It's as if the writers thought, hey, let's throw in a little emotional whiplash for good measure. So, what did we learn today? Well, if you're Punky Brewster, not a whole lot. But for the rest of us, we've learned that serious subjects need more than just mismatched socks and half-baked pep talks.